Hello, Alfie.
Oh, you know what? Thank you so much for coming online.
Pleasure.
Yeah, nice one. Really looking forward to hearing how, you began your relationship with Jesus Christ. I know snippets, and I know that God has done amazing things in your life. So thanks a lot for coming on today, Graham. So, okay then, I've got a few questions, and I'm just wondering whether you could just shed some light on them. So I suppose what I'd like to know is how long have you been a Christian? You know, the moment you gave your life to God and decided to follow his way. How long has that been now?
It's 9 years I've been a Christian now. But actually, before I become a Christian, I mean, I'd always had an idea of, there's a bigger person out there, God, but I never had any proper belief or relationship with God. But then my wife was going to church, and it was sort of a build-up of her putting Christian music on in the background in the kitchen. So everywhere I went, there was always something to remind me of God. It was like the word for today was always around someplace.
Yeah.
And then my wife's sister come down, and every day she'd be reading the word for today, but she'd be always reading it to me.
Yeah.
And I'd be sitting there thinking, and I didn't want to be rude to her or not.
I'd
be like, and I think it just gradually built up like that. And then I went to the church, because my wife was going to the church with my 2 children. And I went there. The first time I went in there, I just know when you get goosebumps, and I just felt something, and I knew something dragging me in. So the more it was dragging me in, the more I wanted to run away.
Oh, that's amazing, Graham. You know what? God does, when he's calling you to himself into a relationship with him, he does do it gently. You know, it might be through a song. It might be through someone saying, come to church with me. It might be through you, opening the Bible and thinking, what is this? He does slowly bring you closer to himself. And I love that. I love that you knew that it was like, God trying to tell you something. That is brilliant. So, Graham, before the 9 years, what would you class yourself? Obviously, you said you didn't have a relationship with God. What would you have classed yourself?
I mean, like when you go to the doctors and that, and they obviously ask you what religion and all that. So, I probably would have said a Protestant, because my dad was a Protestant. But it meant absolutely nothing to me. There was no connection, anything of it. Never went to church, any of it. So it wasn't,
I can identify with that, because I was christened a Catholic, and it was just like education, really, But the day that I realized I could have this real intimate relationship with God, that he can be a part of our lives and everything we do, and hear our call and guide our lives and give us purpose and everything else. It was like, wow, it was just like your eyes were just opened, and it was a new, and I suppose that's like, what is that? What was the difference when you gave your life to Jesus? What was the difference between before and then?
I'd say before I was, very selfish. I'd say, well, my wife would say I was very selfish. I'd just say I was selfish. But I mean, and like doing things, it'd always be, like me doing stuff in my time, my way, all that. Now I've got God in my life. I know God's right there, always looking out for me. And it's, so I'm never on my own through any difficulties, anything like that. I know there's always someone standing right there.
Brilliant.
Caring for me, looking out for me.
Brilliant.
And I'm not saying you don't have bad times, of course you do, but I think that bad times make you stronger, because you're leaning on God more.
Of course.
He's definitely there then, because
you
wouldn't be able to do it on your own.
Exactly. That's the difference I found with walking with God, that when I had problems, I had no one to really turn to except myself or who was ever around me. But now, we're in the world and we do have problems, even if, we're walking with Jesus, but he's there to say, hey, look, I've got this. It's going to be okay. Just trust in me. And he just gives you that strength to overcome. So, Graham, one thing I can say about you, you work for a Christian organisation, you work for Liverpool Lighthouse, and they, their work is to the community, to the disadvantaged groups, to the vulnerable. And, you said you were selfish before, but now working, you're working in an organisation that gives. So in what way do you actually now, show that unselfishness that God has put in you to the community?
Yeah, it could be something as simple as, someone coming to the door. And it, there was a fella the other day, a few weeks ago, come to the door and he said, look, I've got nothing, no thing. I said to him, I'll go and see what's in here. I don't think anyone was in the building at the time. I think I was ready to lock up. And I just found bits for him, and you could see the appreciation on his face, and it gives you a lift inside yourself, that you can actually help someone. And give him his due. He started cleaning up outside while I was getting him food. It was like I give him and he was giving me back. Do you know what I mean?
Brilliant. All right then. So just one final question. It's just a very short, touch and base with you, and it's been great. And I just love hearing these stories from you, Graham. Now, obviously, when you come into a relationship with God, we talked about that security, him being with us all the time and helping us through situations, and just having that one-to-one relationship is just so sweet, isn't it? So what about end of life? Do you have any peace when this life ends? Tell me a bit about that, because obviously before you didn't think anything, but now when your life ends here, what next?
Because in the Bible it tells, Jesus says about my father has many houses. So I've got this idea in my head. I've got this big mansion on the corner. That's where I'm heading.
Okay. So you've got confidence that, God is with us in this life. And when we pass, we'll be with him. I know where I'm going. We know where we're going.
And I feel, you feel so, I don't think it's not anger, but you feel sorry for people where, they've got no, this is it, the life, and that's it, you die. And I mean, my brother's the same, and, when I'm trying to talk to him about God, he goes, it's not like anger, but he goes like, it's like back off and all that. Which I get that, because I was probably like that myself, to be honest, if anyone had to talk to me. But, you just think that, because I'll say to him, well, what's going to happen when you die? And he went, that's it, you die. And I'm like, that's not the end. This is the start. This part of life is just the start of the journey.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of people out there like that, and some might be watching today. God won't give up on them, because he took 20 odd years to call me to himself, and one day I said and it was the best decision I made.
It took nearly 40 for me.
40? Wow.
Nearly,
Don't look that old. So God calls us in these subtle ways, like you said. Your wife was playing music, her sister was reading the Bible. He calls us in subtle ways, and he will, if there's a desire in our hearts to want to know the real God and to be in that relationship with him. He's just waiting for us to say, here I am, if you're there, just come and do something. And that's the point you got to, didn't you? You said you felt all the goosebumps on when you walked into the church. At what point did you say, I need you, God?
I even tried to run away then.
You're a case.
And I escaped, and then I think I went back the next week, and it was exactly the same feeling. I thought, I know this is strange. This is something not right, and I kept backing away. And then I think it was I think my wife and pastor had a little discussion, and then my wife was doing I think it was a run, not the Santa run.
Yeah.
She said, "Oh, will you do me a favour? Will you pass these keys into the church?" And I knew that I was set up. As I was walking up to the church, I knew it was set up. And then he done the altar call, and I remember standing like near the back bit, and then he done the altar call.
What's an altar call, Graham?
It's just a call, just to say, come down. You know, God's there for you. Open your heart.
I see. Okay.
And I was sitting in the seat, and he done the altar call, and I thought, I'm not going down. I'm not going down. And then this big lights just shone right in my face.
No.
I thought, that's it, I'm going down.
Really?
Just got up and walked down. Because I could, you know, when you feel it, I could feel like in my head someone going, just go down, I want to meet you, go down, I want to meet you.
That's God.
I was like, no.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like that, hiding in the chair, and then I just felt this light on my face.
Wow. Was it a sunbeam, a light beam, or?
Yeah, it was coming through the window.
Oh, that's amazing. And then that was the final push.
Yeah, that was it. Then I got up and ran down.
And you gave your heart to Jesus. Have you regretted it, though?
No, I've never looked back once. I mean, even now, when you think that the year we've had now, the pandemic, and, you know, there's a lot of people dreading stuff. You know, people have lost jobs and everything. But, you know, Jesus is there to stand with you, you know, support you, lift you up when you're down, you know.
Yes, I agree to that. So, you know, on that note, you just hit the nail on the head. What would you say to anybody who is just living their lives, no relationship with God, doesn't know where they'll go when they die, think they don't need God, or even those that are being prompted like you were, you know, prompted and little clues, God calling you? What would you say to those right now that God is calling, and what would you say to them basically?
I just basically say, just open your heart. Just, what have you got to lose? Do you know what I mean? You know, like, I remember someone arguing one time about, you know, I think it was my brother, to be honest. You know, when you die, that's it, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, but what have I got to lose now? I'm going to church, you know, I'm praising God and pray, read the Bible, do Bible study. And if I die and there's nothing there, what have I lost? I haven't lost nothing. Do you know what I mean? And if it is true, I've gained all kinds. I've gained
exactly
the best gift you can ever have.
Exactly.
So for anyone, I'd just say, just open your heart.
Yes.
Just, you know, give them a chance.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah. Don't
be afraid. Brilliant. It's mostly fear what stops us doing it.
It is, you know, and it's people saying, well, I have to be all holy. I have to give up my fags. I won't be able to drink. I won't be able to do this. I won't be able. But you know what? God loves us just as we are.
Yeah.
And those things don't matter to God. He calls us when we're at our worst state. My life, don't even go there. He called me in the darkest place where I was. And if I started looking at everything, I mean, in fact, that didn't come into my mind. God's spirit, God's love just suffocated me. And I didn't care about the things in this world. I just wanted him. And that's what I'd encourage people out there watching this. Don't care about those things that you think you're enjoying or that you'll have to give up.
Yeah.
You know, walking hand in hand with God who created the universe, the earth, who knit you together in your mother's womb. Walking with him, there's nothing better.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So
plus, you can also change yourself. No, God will change you anyway, no matter whether it's fast or slow. As soon as you start building a relationship with him,
that's it.
You'll automatically change anyway in yourself.
That's so true. That's so true.
You know,
because, you know, you just said again, you're hitting the nail on the head all the time. I used to have a drink to make me feel happy. You know, I'm bored, I'm fed up. Let me have a drink. And it gave me a temporary bit of joy. And like you've just said, it's a gradual thing. As you walk with God, you think, I don't need to turn to that drink now, because I've got God's put a joy in me that no drink can even come next to. You know, I don't need it to give me a lift. God gives me that lift, you know, so you're right. It's just that things just, you know, life just gets better with God. Look, we've gone past our time, and it's been absolutely amazing speaking to you, Graham. Thank you so much. It's been brilliant, and I just hope anyone out there that, you know, you will just listen to our story and take that step towards God. Definitely. Best step you'll ever take. Thanks, Gray. See you later, mate. Bye for now.
Hi.